Hello, in this video we are going to be discussing the editing of records that are displayed in the Simpli list view. There are multiple ways of editing data that has been provided to us through the list view. Some are really tailored towards the individual record, some are more tailored towards mass editing, and then try to span the gamut and go in between as well. So it really depends on the business process to identify how the users should go about changing them. We can start out by seeing just a simple list view here, and of course, assuming that inline editing has been set to available for the list view based on admin configurations, we should be able to simply double click on one of the fields, and those fields that are editable become available. So we can make changes to the field. We can just set this to from Texas to Arizona, something like that. Click save, and then we'll see that the change has been made. Of course, note that we're making changes to one record here. What we could do is make changes to multiple records at the same time. And you'll notice up in the right hand corner here, we can save them individually. So let's say we want to change this one back to Texas. We can save that individually. When you click save, the entire list view is going to refresh. So all the other ones will will go back to default. But one of the things that you can do here is you can make changes. Make this one Texas, and then maybe we want to make this one California. And then up at the top right hand corner here, you can see here save all the data, and then revert all the data. So we can click save, and it's going to save all of the data. You can see here, and then we're done. So inline editing is absolutely one way of making quick changes, and just make sure that the fields that are on the page are actually allowed to be edited. Otherwise, users are going to be able to edit that information maybe which they can't. So if I do a double click here, you can see that the account name is editable. We're going to want to make sure that that's not the case. So the users just need to not be able to have access to edit the account name. So that's the first way. Another way is to select a number of records, and then when we go to the select action, there's a number of ways of performing edits. The three ways are, and they're a little confusing, and we can go in and make changes based on what your users prefer it to say. So this is all editable, these particular names here, but edit all, and update. As things have progressed and as we've made changes to these, perhaps the names should be altered slightly. But if we were to say click edit here, you'll notice it says a single row must be selected for editing. So in this particular case, edit is designed to use the standard Salesforce edit page. So if I click edit here, you'll notice that the account Express Logistics will appear on the screen, and all the page will load according to what has been configured for that particular page layout. Okay, so there's nothing really more than just standard operating procedures there. So we can make a small change here to something, industry, we'll just change that to insurance, and we'll click save. And the value has not changed anything here because we don't have that particular field right here. But that's the edit action. Then we also have edit all. So if we click on edit all, what's going to happen is, regardless of the clicking of individual accounts, it is going to basically turn all of the online or the inline editing on for all records. Really, what this does is it turns the sheet into kind of like an Excel spreadsheet, so you can tab through all of the the values, putting in values as you see it necessary. And then it works the same as the inline editing, just the regular, you can kind of click save here and it'll save all values, or you can click individual records if you decide that you just want to save those individual records. So edit all really is to inline edit all of the rows on the page. So there we have it, inline edit all. And finally, we have the update. Now, update originally was just for mass editing. So if I select, for example, all of these records, and then I click on update, what happens is there is an action which has been configured on the back end, and it can be configured by an admin to update specific fields that are available on this particular object. So you can see here a number of fields which I'm using just for test purposes, and you'll notice that all the fields are blank. Okay, and the reason why is because there are multiple fields that have been selected, and so what we can do here is we could, set. Let's see if there's a value on here that we can set. There's nothing on that field, but if there was, we could set the currency. Maybe there's $12 for some currency value, and we click process, and what's going to happen is those records are going to get updated with that currency value. So if we now go in and we have a quick little look at Express Logistics, test currency should be set to $12. So let's just make sure that that is true. So we can see here the test currency, there it is, and it's been set to $12. So all those accounts now are going to have their test currency set to $12. Now, that's in the case where there are multiple records selected. But if we only select one, let's select University of Arizona, and then we select update, it's going to pre-populate all the values from the account into those values. Okay, so really what this does is it's really it's a more customized update mechanism which can be used. Okay, so if we go into this particular action, you'll see here's the action, list view action update, the object type is account, and if we go to the related fields or parameters, you can see here all the parameters that I have been testing with, okay, make them available so we can see everything that's going on here. One of the important things here is you can see the type, string, pick, list, decimal, just tons of different types. And the type is going to dictate how things get displayed. So you can see here, this is a lookup, and it is a lookup to the account owner. So I can go in and I can change that to something else. Let's say I want to change it to standard user. Okay, and I click process. Okay, the owner is going to now have changed. Okay, so if we go into, I forgot which one we made changes to. I think it was University of Arizona. We can go and make sure that that particular account owner has been set to standard. While we're waiting for that, let's go and have a look at this particular lookup. There is a field which is very important to be set correctly. What you'll see here is we're identifying, the label, the API name, which is very important, the lookup, which is the type. Display order is fine, but then the lookup type is very important. So this is the object type that the lookup field is looking up to. Okay, so really the account owner is an object of type user, and that gives me a hint as to how to process the data, okay, and how to display it on the screen as well, in order for people to understand what's going on. So if we quickly go back to University of Arizona here, you can see the account owner has been changed to standard user. Okay, so that's something which hopefully will be useful, but just definitely something to remember with the update action, that if there's multiple selected, then no values are changed, no values are displayed to the user, and if only one is selected, then that form is pre-populated. One thing to note here is I've just clicked update, for multiples, and if I click process, blank values are just disregarded. So, if I click process here, it's not going to be the case that all these values get set back to null. But in the case where there is a single record, the values will get set back to null. So it really depends on what we're doing here as to how this particular form reacts to the user. Okay. So those are the few ways that we can edit. Hopefully they provide enough options for business processes to be built specifically to customer needs. As usual, if there are any questions, please reach out and ask. And we'll see you again soon.